Welcome.
You are watching Line Screw 1. Well, it's about time I actually address the elephant smoking in the corner of the room. Is Fidel Castro the actual father of Justin Trudeau? Well, we actually don't know definitively because no DNA test has ever been done. But I will say this, I have spent a bit of time in Cuba, been there actually many of times prior to the pandemic. Probably about 1 million Canadians every year would go to Cuba, so it's kind of like our Puerto Rico of Canada, so to speak. So, Cuba is not really a big deal for us Canadians. I know for many Americans for many years, you were not allowed to go there without a special State Department permission to actually walk among the Cuban people. But I do like the Cuban people, I do like the weather, I do like their cojibas, I do like the rum and the sunshine and all that kind of stuff. But, I don't like the actual dictatorship that they do have. I want to be very clear upon that. I've actually even been to Cuba when Fidel Castro was alive and seen the celebrations on his birthday. I actually been to actually see the celebrations of Fidel Castro's birthday. If you're actually curious about what life in Cuba is like, check out my video. It'll be up in the cards. I got a 3-part series of A Capitalist in Cuba. So you can check that out if you actually want to know what the Cuban people and life is like in Cuba. The people are pretty decent and very honest and hardworking, and they're actually capitalists at heart. But let's get to the meat of the matter, what I actually did the video about, and that's, is Fidel Castro the father of Justin? Now, I know what you're going to be thinking. I know what you're going to be saying. Isn't it strange how Justin looks exactly like Fidel Castro? Yeah, I've prepared some slideshows here for you to look at. It's uncanny. Why is that? That's really strange. Now, I know his dad, Pierre Trudeau, who was our dictator, our prime minister, from the late 60s through into the early 80s, aside from a little break that, we had a conservative government in between there where he lost a little bit of power. But, yeah, his dad, old Pierre, or Peter, or whatever you want to call him, Pierre, his dad, he loved Cuba. Yeah, his dad loved Cuba, not in the way that I love Cuba. I love Cuba for the people and the natural beauty of the place. I don't love it for its politics. No siree, Bob. But his dad, when he was a young man, long before he became Prime Minister of Canada, he went down to Key West and decided to paddle a canoe to Cuba because he wanted to do that. That's how crazy his dad was for socialism. Yeah, it's a long story that's part of our Canadian history. Now, his dad actually didn't make it to Cuba with the canoe. He actually had to be rescued, thank goodness. But Pierre, his dad, did actually go to Cuba and spend some time there hugging and kissing old Fidel and loving the socialism and all that kind of crazy stuff. Now, but the only good thing I can say about Cuban-Canadian relations is that we do trade with each other, because that embargo actually hurted Americans. Because I'm going to tell you this is something you guys never realized about the embargo with Cuba, is that they did business with everybody else. When you went into a hotel room in Cuba, the telephones came from Canada, the bus that took you there came from Brazil, the plane that flew you there came from Canada, and the urinals in the actual hotel came from Spain. So everybody was making money selling to Cuba except American workers, which I always thought was kind of sad. Even the Coca-Cola that you drink at the airport came from Mexico. So American workers actually were penalized because of the embargo. It actually didn't hurt Cubans because the Cuban government actually just did business with every other country in the world. So I always wondered how that embargo didn't work. Well, I'm going to tell you how it didn't work, because they just did business with everybody else. But aside from all that nonsense, you know, we all got to get on with our life, and there's bigger things in the world compared to Cuba. I mean, what's going on with Russia and Ukraine is a big deal compared to what's going on with Cuba. Cuba is small potatoes and nobody cares anymore. Cuba is just one of those places that will be liberated soon. You know, who knows how long it's going to take, but it will happen. So, in the meantime, tell me, why is Justin Trudeau looking so much like Fidel? I know many of you are thinking maybe he's daddy. I don't know. His mama... Old Margaret. I know the old Mrs. Trudeau, who was his mama. Boy, she hung out with the Rolling Stones. She was kind of a party girl. She's actually still alive. So I got to be careful what I say so I don't get sued into oblivion. But yeah, his mama's ethical stance on partying and the fact that she married old Pierre, who was much older than her. She was a bit of a gold digger. I'm going to go straight out and say this. Justin Trudeau's mama was a bit of a gold digger. Yeah, she knew that Pierre was going to go somewhere. And anyway, she was along for the ride and had a baby named Justin along with his brother. But Justin really looks like Fidel. Why is that, folks? Why is that? Now, until we actually get a DNA test, because I do know Fidel Castro's corpse is still around, I don't believe they cremated him, so they can actually DNA test him or any of other Fidel Castro's kids, you know, and see if there's a DNA match of ancestry. So until we actually get a DNA test and see if actually Justin Trudeau is actually related to Fidel, we don't really know, because the pictures are very uncanny and very similar, and I don't know about you, but I got my doubts. But I'd sure love to see the actual DNA results. And if I could see them, I'd definitely do an apology and say, Justin, guess what? Fidel is not your daddy. But until then, we do not know. Because we do know one thing for sure. Justin Trudeau loves being a tyrant. And Justin Trudeau loves acting just like Fidel Castro did. Yeah, he does. What up with that, folks? Put your comments down below. Hope you're doing well, and who knows? Can't wait for Cuba to get liberated, and maybe I'll go back down there again. Spent many a Christmas down there, and even been down there in the summertime. Hotter than hell. I don't recommend you actually going down to Cuba in the summertime. But anyway, so put your comments down below what you think about the Justin Trudeau Fidel Castro link. Are they related? Is Fidel Justin's daddy? I don't know. You tell me. In the meantime, folks, stay safe, keep your wheels to the ground. I'll talk to you soon. Over and out.
Can go to figure out what we've done, what we need to do. Yeah, I got you, I got you, I got you.